Art is an act. It is not only a visual expression, it involves all of the process, all of the things that you did in that process, and the tools that you explored. Today, we have so many mediums to explore: computing power, internet, hardware, and blockchain. As an individual artist, I feel like I have the responsibility to make the most out of it. My name is Han. I'm a digital alchemist. My dialogue with the world is happening mostly through the mechanism of digital logic. So basically, I'm using my computer to interact with the world. I'm fascinated by mathematics, which I think can describe the logic of almost everything in life. With my latest creation, I'm bringing all of my influences and experiences together. In the past, I've used non-fungible token standards to explore what's possible with 3D graphics, generative music, and physical installations. These non-fungible token standards and the blockchain technology in general created a whole new path. The permissionless way to create, transact, and authenticate the digital assets. I keep thinking of the interesting gaps with the current models that can be filled. In the current ecosystem, we rely on third-party marketplaces to buy and sell the digital assets. But when code is not law, it can be controlled by third parties, which is why creators are having issues getting their royalties. On-chain art is a really interesting step forward. It means artists are creating optimized algorithms specifically for visual graphics and logics that completely lives on blockchain. It is resistant to modifications and has true ownership to the owner. So I'm creating my own world, not only the art itself, but all of the tools and the infrastructure. Each visual art piece is a self-executing program. These programs are actually known as smart contracts, which includes the functions of selling, ownership verification, and royalty payments happening directly through it. Once my art piece is deployed on the blockchain, people can buy or sell without the need for any marketplace. And because the code that is generating the art piece is inside the smart contract, it can't be altered in any way, not even by me, ensuring it is authentic and immutable. I'm really interested in creating my own rules without any borders or dependencies, expressing things that are really personal to me, entirely through code. Because paint fades, sculptures crumble, and even digital art can be broken or removed. With this approach, I believe we are taking one step closer to exploring the immortality of works using the blockchain and opening up new channels for aesthetic and technical expressions.
There it is. Welcome to the damn show, everybody, the Digital Art Market Show. I am Roger Dickerman, RD. I'm excited. We're presented with 24 Hours of Art and SuperRare, powered by Gandhi. And here with Han, our first guest of the day. We have a big show today. We're going to be on for a little while. We have some surprises. We have Emi coming in at 2. But right now, Han, it is you and me, and I'm very excited to be here with you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, Roger.
It's a pleasure, man, and I think it's necessary to take a step back here for everybody. I wanted to play that video just to show the depth and breadth of a lot of what you're focused on. We're gonna have plenty of time to pick it all apart, including one of our main topics today, CryptoCubes. But just to set the stage for everybody in the audience here, if you're not familiar with Han, my personal journey in this space, like number one, I would cast everyone's eyes to this. Did you know? Someone special asked me just the other week prior to a show before we went live for recording, hey, what is that? What is that over your shoulder? Well, it's always been CryptoCubes. And for me, Han, you occupy a very special place, and CryptoCubes occupy a very special place in my journey, where at the end of 2020, I started to get a lot more vocal. I started to post on social media. I started to do deep dives on projects. And CryptoCubes were one of the first projects that I fell in love with. I did a thread in I guess technically it was January of 2021, and we got closer after that. And the rest is history. But you've always been an inspiration of mine. And so it's fun to do it.
Yeah, actually, it was quite a special days when you found out about CryptoCubes and you made that thread. And actually, it also gave a lot of push from like your side that more people started to like learn about CryptoCubes, right? So yeah, and the print in there is like the first limited edition of the CryptoCubes creators that we did together. And yeah, like it's been right now like 5 years in a week, I guess, since the CryptoCubes launched, and we're excited to talk about CryptoCubes together.
5 years, Han. So we're gonna unveil the beginnings of something special. It'll technically hit all of your radar. It's gonna be content that's accessible to everybody. And I've taken some time on the 24 hours of art side of things. You may have seen me do this before with Sky Golpe, with Sam Spratt. And every now and again, there's an artist and or a project that we do a real serious deep dive on. Everything from all the marketing intricacies to the origin story, to, in this case, CryptoCubes and creators, which we'll talk about, to where the project is going. And so we're going to unveil behind the scenes a couple days prior to where people get access to it. We have something key to fill in about the future. And then once we do, everyone will be able to get their hands on it. But we're going to go through it today. So I've been spending a lot of time in your world, Han, and revisiting a lot of things, and also just learning a few new things along the way too.
Yeah. Yes, actually, you know, in October 4th, we basically celebrate our anniversary for 50 years of CryptoCubes. And since then, I've been working on both CryptoCubes and also then this CryptoCubes creators we are going to deep dive on. And it was a quite special journey, you know, like everyone remembers that it is like 2020, 2021 craziness, right? And since then, we've been working, and I'm also excited to show, you know, what we've been doing and what is coming along. And yeah, like 5 years, I don't know how this time went through. And hopefully there will be like more years that I'm going to be working on the CryptoCubes. And yeah, like we can dive deep, sorry, and like, yeah, talk about them.
5 years. So one of the things, the last thing I do with these reports is I write a letter. I did it on each of the previous reports, and the letter is just something from my perspective. And I was trying to reconstruct, because 5 years is a long time, and I was trying to reconstruct the history from my point of view, why I dove all the way down the CryptoCubes rabbit hole in the first place, and then sort of what's kept me around over the long haul. And for me, what I pinpointed were a couple things. You know, number one, you really inspired something important, which is dimensionality in me. And it actually was a huge influence in what I ended up doing for a long period of time. So we still more to come there. But artifacts, right? The dimensionality of artifacts, I think, was directly influenced by what you were doing with CryptoCubes. You adding a third dimension to your artwork and sort of all the possibilities, the scalability, and sort of everything that unlock over time. And so that's sort of component number one is dimensionality. So I think let's begin there. Your desire creating, you know, really was recognized as the first generative 3D project, period.
Yeah, like my thought process when I was starting CryptoCubes was, you know, like CryptoPunks were the main inflation in the beginning, right? And they created this digital personas, right? And you can basically use it in every social media that kind of like represents you. And since I have this like architecture background, right? Actually, this was like the initial prototypes were like I was working in my graduation project with these like generative spaces. I thought, you know, there's the 3D worlds there, the discussion around the metaverse and everything, but you know, we are slowly getting a world where we are going to experience this internet in a 3D too, right? Not only 2D. And these, I think like all of the products that are coming, like Apple Vision Pro, all of the VR things, kind of proves that. It's kind of like a rough pad as well, because like nothing is working. Then we have like lightweight glasses and everything. But um, I see like a really interesting potential in there too, because it's going to be like a basically mixed with our like real lives. We are going to see those like digital things, and this 3D aspect is more based on like, can you interact with those objects? Like, can you do those things? And the whole point of CryptoCubes started with this like sculptures, instead of it being a 2D thing, just experience them as a sculpture.
So let's share a screen. Let's give people a little bit of a visual here, and a preface to what will ultimately be the 24 hours of our CryptoCubes report. So here they are, Han. Now they've gone through some iterations. I think the visuals were one of the many things that you've iterated over the course of those 5 years. And here they are, sort of in their updated clean form. And that became, I mentioned there were a couple factors as to why I am so passionate about what you're up to, and one of them was impossible to understand. One of those factors was impossible to understand in 2020 and 2021, because I needed time to see it. And it's just how relentless you are, Han, and how tenacious you are about, you have a vision that sometimes is ahead of what is possible at the present moment. And when the tools and capabilities catch up, you make sure the project does too. And that extends from visuals to their on-chain nature to far more.
Yeah, so I also want to point that out. The CryptoCubes was like my first ever creative project, in my career, right? And compared to all of these like really professional and like well-known projects, the CryptoCubes kind of differences because it keeps evolving. Because in the beginning, I wasn't a professional, right? So when you look at CryptoPunks, it's like a complete the best product, and like you don't need to change or like work towards it, right? But in CryptoCubes, there was like initial version, and then like along the way, I updated the visual and made it on chain. And then like the last step, which you're seeing in the screen, is like the latest visualization, which in GLSL. So it keeps evolving, right? And this is why I want to keep working on CryptoCubes, because I want to feel that, it is final. Okay, I did my best. I spent all of my resources on this. And finally, I feel it's on the level that like this professionality, and like it's now it is open for the world, and I can just move on peacefully to I don't know, next thing. So CryptoCubes on that side is like constantly evolving, right? The original collection, and also we are going to talk about the CryptoCubes creator side as well. So yeah, like it's my baby. It's my like it's my the most important and special project. And I think it can also tell like it's been 5 years. I keep working on. I'm going to keep working on, and it's going to evolve. And until it is, it is in a place where I can say, okay, this is beautiful. It's already beautiful, yeah. But I think you understand my point.
Absolutely. And it's one of the things that makes it so attractive, is that you are now sort of operating and evolving far beyond, I think, anyone's reasonable expectations. And you're clearly doing it because you feel the need to. And that's, I think, what a lot of us are here for, right? To follow that sort of North Star of the creator. And this is your clear North Star. So I'm personally here for it. Real quick, I want to take a step back, say hi to the community, everyone joining us. Deconstruct here. Bling Bling, who I believe is a CryptoCubes holder as well, is here. Abrahani, a GM, everyone. Han, I mentioned surprise guests. I think they're both here. I think we just let's do it. Let's add everyone to the party. We're here for a while, so let's say hi to two very special individuals, adding them all to the stage. Here they are. Let me take the screen share off so we can see them a little bit better. and we'll of course pop it back on. There they are.
Wow,
Redbeard
Benny too.
and
Wow.
Vaughn.
Hey, what's up,
Hey.
Vaughn?
How you doing, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good. Welcome, guys, and thank you for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us, man.
Who knew the surprises would hit so soon? Let's go. Here we are. So let's ask a simple question of each of you. But Benny, why are you here? Why Han? Why CryptoCubes? Why feel the need to sort of join this particular damn show?
I mean, I always thought Han's work is underrated in our community. He's, in my opinion, one of the best, pure artists when it comes to like not just being on chain, but like programming. And I always thought cubes were great. One of my favorite pieces that I own. I own it with a group of people. Actually, I own it with Will Savis, Zanzibar, and one other person I can't remember for a second. And we own Eric Snowfro's only one of one that technically he's ever created. Because he's only usually made collections. So we own that cube. And Eric actually has the other part of it. And it's this really nice connection, something like we'll pretty much never sell, but we own that CryptoCube one of one that he created, and he has the connecting part of it. And for me, it's just been, I just always thought the project was great because I'm a very firm believer that the more sort of collaboration that there is with artists and artists together, the more successful we're going to be. And I just feel that Chrome, like the cubes really were just like, for Han, for me, was working with every artist that he can to bring this out. I don't know, it didn't feel like, for me, like obviously there's always speculation, but it just felt like this more of like a community-based thing of like these incredible artists. So like when you want to look back at like which artists were here and which ones were part of it, it actually becomes like an historical record. So, and, I think Han is not only great artist, but he happens, people don't know this, to be an incredible art collector, and he supports artists collecting art a lot. So just always been a fan and wanted to support.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I mean,
I'm so happy you go ahead, Vaughn.
No, please, after you.
Just to say, I'm so glad you brought that up, Benny, that specific example, which is now on screen, by the way, for everybody. There's the gems, like we haven't even touched CryptoCubes creators yet, so it's a great introduction there. But we've seen essentially 113 artists come in, select a cube, and do a specific piece based on those cubes. This is one of them. And I think a lot of people, until you just said that, Benny, had no idea this particular artwork even existed in the first place. And now they do. And that's fun. And we could go down that rabbit hole. But Vaughn, welcome,
Yes.
man. I would
Thank
love
you.
to hear from you.
Look, I mean, I've been a big fan of Han from his CryptoCube drop. I always liked the fact that, I have a gallery in Decentraland, and I liked that when this project happened, there was a 3D file that allowed cubes to be displayed in metaverses right away. And that kind of attracted me in the sense that not a lot of people were including 3D files with their NFTs. And I would make a case that CryptoCubes is probably one of the first, along with a few other art projects, that really pioneered having 3D files included well before virtual reality, augmented reality, just basically making the metaverse ready right from the drop. And I appreciate the fact that Han has worked so hard over the years to continue to bring attention to CryptoCubes and updating the software, updating everything about it, so that putting them on chain, all the things that as a collector you want to see. So I really do appreciate his dedication. So in addition to being a talented artist who was very early in the space, similar to what Benny said, also a very, very good collector. My first interaction with Han was in the CryptoPunks Discord. It was right after the cube drop had happened, and he had some ETH, and he's like, "Oh, I'm interested in CryptoPunks," and we started talking about different CryptoPunks, and big collector of Meebits, big collector of just a big collector in the space. And I very much respect artists that take an interest and aren't just here to cash a paycheck, but are actually looking to advance the space and be part of the community. So good work.
I appreciate it. And I also want to add, I also want to say like some things about like Benny and VonMises. So one is like one of the like most supportive people in CryptoCubes and also in my creative career, right? He is always there whenever I have a question or any doubt or anything. Like that one is one of the first people that I always go and just send a message, talk with him, and he's always there. He's always talking with me and helping me to try to find a solution if there's a problem or anything. But like I'm really feel like I'm feeling honored that one is still supporting this cause around like what I'm doing with CryptoCubes. And yeah, like he has a really special part in me. And for Benny, we've been talking about CryptoCubes creators. He's been really supportive and was like trying to support along with my journey, right? And whenever I wanted to talk with Benny as well, he's always there. And the best part, just before we have them to the call, I was saying, the CryptoCubes is like quite different compared to other like professional projects because it is constantly evolving. And I am trying to learn more. I'm trying to pour more things in. And personally, I also don't feel like it is like a final project so far. There's still lots of things to be done. There's still lots of artists to be collaborating CryptoCubes creators. And yeah, I just want to wrap up and say, Juan and Benny has been really supportive the journey of CryptoCubes.
Yeah, I mean, it's constant collecting, since the beginning. The two of us, we only got to know each other pretty well recently, but we've been talking a lot more about like the future, I think, of things and how excited we are, and how sales right now are an opportunity to build on things in the future. But like it's the interesting thing is, I know that Vaughn and I've been talking about how there's going to be incredible artists that we don't even know exist yet. So what I love is about CryptoCubes, the same way like I feel about meme cards and things like that, is that when we have these very, very evolving projects that include not just the artists that we know, but may include artists that we don't know yet, that's something that I appreciate a lot, because I know that, and I don't want to speak for Vaughn, but I do feel like the two of us feel very strongly like this is just the beginning. So it's like something like CryptoCubes that can keep going. So showing that support to it, I think, is important, because I think there's like really good artists, emerging artists that we're starting to see that haven't had an opportunity to do a cube yet. And, it's that moment of when you get to do it, if it's not right now, it'll happen in a month or 2 months or 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. I think there's something really cool about that.
Benny, is there a Sam Spratt cube yet or no?
Not yet. I'm about to get one.
Oh yeah, it sounds like you're on the hook now, man.
Tell him that.
It's all you, Benny. It's all you. It's all you.
No pressure. No pressure.
Just like I actually like talked about this with Sam, and he said he's like in his craft, he's really careful about the story, the narrative, right? Yeah. So I also don't want to be in the part to push him to break this, like what he's planning so far. But I'm sure that whenever if he feels ready, when he finishes narrative, like continues properly, I'm sure we are going to talk, and I'm going to invite him again. So he's quite well focused on this narrative and journey, which I completely understand.
Yeah, and I think it's great. I mean, that's what I think is great about the cubes, is that you have your journey, but the journey keeps going. So it's like when it's ready for you and you're ready and it all kind of fits, that's when it,
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this cohort. Have you announced who the cohort is yet?
You mean the next CryptoCubes creators? No, not yet. Actually, we didn't get to talk about a lot the CryptoCubes creators yet.
I mean, it's up to you. You should break the news on the damn show.
Let's go. Let music to my ears, Benny. Come on, Han, give us the alpha.
Maybe we talk about CryptoCubes creators, and then because I just don't want to miss any name and everything. and we're just in the clarifying and confirming process with them. So,
Well, Han, let's find out from you. Like, what do the next 5 years mean for CryptoCubes?
yeah, as I so there's, just to avoid confusion, there's like currently two collection, right? One collection is this generative collection, which is created in 2020, the 256 generative project, which is the CryptoCubes. And there's another like this side project, which is CryptoCubes Creators, where we collaborate with artists. And each of the artists picks one CryptoCube and creates their own art piece with it. So for the next 5 years, there's going to be like a focus on this AR world. So we are actually already created a software for in Vision Pro. You can interact with CryptoCubes. And the second plan is keep going with the CryptoCubes creators, because we currently collaborate with 113 artists, and it's going to continue until we have 256. And there's like really good artists that I want to collaborate and finish this legacy collection too. And after that, I'm going to focus on making sure that this collection has its place in the history of like NFTs and this collaboration. So the 5 years is just keep iterating the everything related to CryptoCubes. And yeah, I'm just going to work on it. And I also want to point that out. I think you also know that in the beginning, when I was creating this CryptoCubes and selling, I didn't actually make a huge amount of funds from this, right? And it was the community that saw the value, and the values of CryptoCubes increase. So without any engagement and everything, I just keep pouring whatever I have to this project, like from the beginning and still. And yeah, the next 5 years is going to be the same like that. Whatever I have, it's going to be like poured in this my baby project in the following 5 years.
I mean, there aren't a ton of projects that are still around, had been around for 5 years. I mean, obviously CryptoPunks and there's other communities as well, but it's pretty early cohort. So to have done your drop in 2020 and still be alive and kicking and doing stuff and having people interested in your art, it's great.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, like the CryptoCubes is going to be the most important project of my career, which is going to be special in the following years with all of the things that are coming up.
I think it's pretty amazing to look, right? So here on screen, this is the first CryptoCubes creators, right? It's April 9th, 2021. 8 artists released. We're talking about 113 today. And if you think about it, 256 cubes and your commitment to do all 256, that's not even halfway there yet. So we're looking at, this is a 4.5 year, 5 years overall for cubes, 4.5 years since the beginning of CryptoCubes creators. I mean, you've paved a long road ahead of you in a sense, and you have a track record to back that up now. So I think it's pretty exciting to think that there are those number of years. And I think, as Benny and Vaughn have referred to, that a lot of new creators and a lot of interesting creators that will sort of be on the rise at various points in time over the course of our future. And yeah, who does come in? I think it's a point of interest.
Yeah, I think you were saying 113 artists, right? And we initially started in Nifty Gateway with 8 artists. It was the first drop. It included, I can just shout out their names really quickly. There was Nicola, Arc4G, Roger Dickerman, Elota Money, Filipodas, Fakrender, Victor Mosquera, and Refi Canado. So we started with these artists, like it was the first ever the CryptoCubes creators drop. And it was a great experience, just doing this all. And it started to become a usual thing, which we then continued with the second and third drops. There are many great artists, many digital NFT native artists that we've been collaborating, and we're going to collaborate more. It's actually kind of special to look through all of those artworks, because maybe I can just break out this news in a few days, the CryptoCubes creators art piece migration is going to start. So we are going to use a manifold contract for these art pieces to have a legacy contract, and we will be able to continue with the new set of artists. And I think we are also going to include in the report. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We are going to continue with the new artist, and I don't know when we are going to reach the 256, but we are going to be there.
It's fun to see you evolve the functionality with your inspirations, right? You refer to CryptoPunks and Larva Labs, and that being an important moment when that came across your radar. And I think one of the aspects that you mentioned being really passionate about was the permissionless aspect of the marketplace. And just to see you continuing to push your own art forward, right, and sort of fit it into the optimal infrastructure that presents itself today. That's the migration.
Yeah, and I also want to mention about CryptoPunks and art blocks, right? These were the pioneering projects who inspired like many people, which me too, right? I'm deeply inspired by all of these things, these projects, and yeah, the CryptoCubes is just wants to create this legacy historical aspect of this, and quite exciting journey is waiting, actually. Yeah.
And as we scroll through here, I just encourage, if anyone is on screen, what I find so fascinating about this, I'm going to use a pun, project takes on different dimensionality when you see, right here on screen, DK, right? Animation. We saw Rafik before. We saw 6 and 5. We see Aaron B's. We see there's so many different creators that are coming on screen, bringing all forms of different artistic mediums to the table. And all of a sudden, when you have them within one collection, it starts to look really interesting. There's a bit of something for everyone. There's probably a bit of discovery for everyone. It's pretty fascinating stuff.
Yeah, and in the beginning when we were doing this in the previous platform, we were doing 24 hours auctions. It was sometimes giving a good results, but sometimes it wasn't. For like some artists may didn't meet the expectations. So for the future drops, we just set up gave the decision to the artist. So there's going to be a specific date where we are going to release the new art pieces from new artists, but there's not going to be any deadline to sell, which will give a much more freedom to artists whenever they want to. They find a good collector, or whenever they want to sell, they're going to sell. So, as you know, even these kind of small details are evolving in this process, and we are planning to do this in SuperRare from now on, and it's going to be exciting with the new artists.
Benny, there it is. There's your cube art piece right there in the report.
I mean, it's a grail. I know that Von loves grails, so I'll sell it to you for $2 million, Von.
I'm tempted. I'm very tempted.
Live damn show negotiation.
No, I also think I love that you said that, Han, that the art blocks and the punks are inspiration. You know what Matt and John have created, and Eric really are truly foundational things in our community. But I appreciate that, and it's so important because I think it has happened for a lot of artists in our space. But people shouldn't should know that you're also very OG in this space, and the work you've done with some other artists and projects that have made you a very important piece of this history as well. So don't overlook.
I appreciate it, but I personally don't feel like it yet.
I know.
Just
you had a long time for your career, but it started very well so far. How old are you again?
Right now 29.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Von, talk to us a bit. You were one of the early ones. One, as far as conviction in CryptoCubes, but two, really deploying those CryptoCubes. You mentioned earlier about the attractiveness of the files, having the files, being able to bring them into metaverses. You have one of the sort of standout CryptoCube metaverses. Talk about that experience a bit.
Well, I mean, I currently have a gallery in Decentraland called Rapture Gallery, and I have a crypto cube on display when you walk in. I mean, it's amazing, to be honest with you. And I mean, I'm disappointed with Decentraland a little bit in the sense that they don't have VR capabilities yet, and so I can't really visit the gallery in all its glory. But the crypto cube in the entrance is it's slowly rotating, and I spent time. One of the nice things about the crypto cubes is you can customize the rotation, how the individual cubes move, how they phase in and out a little bit. You can do all kinds of pretty cool things with if you play around with it. So I spent quite a bit of time, getting the piece itself to rotate at a very at the proper speed, as well as the individual cubes to rotate, individually. And it looks really cool, to be honest. And you really get a sense of, it looks like a sculpture. It looks like a moving sculpture. And look, the gallery in Decentraland, it's got a lot of cool art on display. It's done in an Art Deco style gallery and has a rooftop club and all that. It's definitely a vanity project. Definitely like just a place to show some art. But yeah, I mean the crypto cube on display there looks amazing. Oh, there it is. So yeah, I mean, I really like the fact that you can do things like that and have it on display. And more importantly, I think that as down the line, when there's better AR capabilities and maybe everybody's wearing glasses that are AR capable, like you might have a crypto cube on your front lawn that people could see, or it's very possible that people could be like, oh, hey, is that a real crypto cube? Yeah, that's a real crypto cube. But I like the fact that anything that has like a little bit of a historical narrative to it, I think is cool. So one of the first projects to have a 3D file included with it, I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, how do you feel about, in some ways, in places like the Decentraland crypto voxels, they exist. We can go there. And in a sense,
Yes.
that is exciting. And also, at the same time, we did all collectively get a bit ahead of ourselves, right? In 2021. I think we all, for a hot minute there, felt like the metaverse era was upon us. And in a sense, we have a little bit more time to wait before some of these mixed reality promises come true. How do you feel about that lag time?
I mean, obviously it's disappointing. I mean, but if the demand wasn't there at the time, it wasn't there at the time. And I think that, a lot of people have been critical of VR and AR technology because it's just not as compact and easy and convenient as people would like it to be. But as you continue to see iteration, I mean, I don't know if it's going to take 5 more years or 10 more years. I don't really know. But I think that having virtual worlds where people interact I think it's a foregone conclusion. But I don't know how long it's going to take, but I do think it's going to eventually get there. And I think that AR might be the bigger advancement. If everybody's wearing AR enabled glasses, you could have a CryptoPunk on your wall in your house, or a Fidenza, or whatever it is. It's always going to be properly lit. It's always going to look perfect. You don't have to worry about a fire or insuring it or anything that goes along with art. So I think these are things that are eventualities. I don't know. I'm not really sure how long the time frame is, but I do think that's where the space is eventually headed. And then once you get the ability to display digital art, whether it's a sculpture or hanging on a wall, in the same format as real art, well, then these differences start to kind of evaporate even more and more. And it's not a digital piece of art, it's just another piece of art, just like any other piece of art.
Penny, what are your thoughts there?
I completely disagree with Vaughn. No, I'm just talking with you. I agree with him 100%. I think it's just another it's just another, sort of we're early. That's it. Like, I think we're just so early to all of this. I think we're so early to the onboarding of digital art, of AI, AR, AI, all of this. I think we're just really, as a collecting base and art creators, we're just super early. I think that also maybe in the West, it's a little bit like in America and Europe, it's AR and VR have not caught on. But if you go to Asia, it's definitely starting to pop a lot more. but I do agree with Vaughn. It's like we need like it can't be so clunky. It has to be a lot lighter. Because like if you gave my kids the ability to have any of these things while they played Roblox, they would take it and and adapt to it with under 10 seconds, right? So I think like we'll get there. And I think it's just another way of displaying art. But it just goes back to like what I keep talking about the idea that we're collecting this art and we see these digital assets as real assets versus the world doesn't fully understand what a digital asset is yet, but the next generation completely understands what a digital asset is. So it's the idea of like how it will be displayed, in my opinion, will be solved, and also just the ownership and provenance of it will be sort of second nature to everybody. Yeah, I agree. Like I kind of wish we had this like really cool moment. I agree with Vaughn, and it just kind of died down. Again, I think it's just because we were too early. I think larger companies, not from our space, will solve a lot of these problems, and then we'll just adapt to those things. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool to have the metaverse. I agree with Vaughn. Like, I think it's a foregone conclusion. I mean, some people might argue that's not a great thing. Some people might say it's fine. I mean, I'll probably be dead before I have to worry about that. So, or maybe I'll live forever. Sometimes I feel like I want to download myself into the metaverse, and then I could just hang out with Vaughn on all day.
Well, some people say we already are in a metaverse. Like we
Correct.
already are living in a
This is it.
simulation. So maybe we're just trying to make the simulation of the simulation because we're already in a simulation.
On top of each other. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And just
But,
yeah,
but I agree.
Yes.
I agree a lot with Vaughn here. I think the biggest issue we do have in general for our space is actually displaying art, because again, our generation and maybe under us don't fully understand the ownership of a digital asset. So we have to find a solution to that. But we will. I feel pretty confident that that'll happen over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. And I also want to add, like, it doesn't have to be this keyword like metaverse as well, right? So we already have this, like, looking at screens every day. So it's just going to be this mixture of this mixed reality and the real life, but we are not there yet. It's always like gets like slowed down and everything. But like we basically are already like almost half of our days like basically passes through with like looking at screens and everything. And yeah, like the displaying a digital art is like one of the constraints. But personally, I think, like, do we have to display them in the physical world? Like they are digital native, so why not we go with this digital like ways of displaying them? Like, why are we trying to find something that is digital and trying to push it to display in the physical world? Because again, I'm going to give you an example from CryptoPunks. It's completely purely in digital world. You don't have to have this like physical versions of them. Like for us, like for nerdy people, we would love to print and hang in our wall to look at it. But the actual point of these like collections are actually digital native.
Yeah. I agree. I have to run because my son lost his first tooth, and if I don't take him out for lunch, he's going to be really upset at me because that's what I promised him. So I'm just going to say goodbye. Han, I wish you all the luck in the world. I love you.
Thank you.
Vaughn, feel the same. Roger, whatever.
See you, Benny.
I was forced to come on the show to see you. So,
well, I appreciate you getting over our long-standing rivalry to make it happen.
I love you guys, all of you. I'll speak to you later.
See you, Benny.
See you, Benny.
So I know, real quick, Vaughn, just to get it out of my brain. So I stand in two camps. I agree. I think digitally native assets need be nothing more than that. And yet I have to admit, I have these two exciting ideas that I can't wait to see happen, whether it's with CryptoCubes. I think it fits perfectly with cubes or other digital sculpture assets. One being the concept of a blank white wall. Imagine you go into a gallery with nothing there, literally nothing there. And then, of course, you can unlock a CryptoCube sort of internal
Right.
sculpture garden. And then the other one is outdoors, right? We can all imagine we
Yes.
go to art museums or near us. I'm in New Jersey. Near us is the Hamilton Sculpture Garden. You go outdoors and you set it up in a beautiful sort of juxtaposition with nature. You can imagine the scalability of these cubes. I think that would be amazingly stunning as well. I know I'm getting over my skis and that might take years, but nevertheless,
No,
that's what keeps me up.
you already there already are AR files that you can do that. I've put cubes in my backyard that you can actually see with your camera. You know, you can't see it with your eyes, but if you take your phone, you can see it. So there already is the ability to have that, but we would all need to be wearing some kind of AR glasses though. And I guess that's what the point you're getting to.
Yeah, I would agree that there's already like the solutions and everything, but it is not like we don't do it casually. Like, so it is not inside our lives yet. But like we personally, I believe it is going to happen, and this is why the CryptoCubes is like all of the experiences, the 3D aspects are like based on that. And yeah, just to like mention about the CryptoCubes journey and everything. You know, this collection, of course, there's like this monetary value and everything. But like as I'm showing and like this project is evolving, you know, I'm just putting everything that I have in this project, whether it is seeing attention or not, because I also don't want it to be completely tied to like this crypto or NFTs and everything, but I really want to focus on to introduce these artifacts are like actually and sculptures and like cricket and art pieces, right? And yeah, the journey moves on around that.
The journey moves on. Vaughn, I don't know how you feel about this, but me personally, I just think the commitment over the course of that long a stretch of time, it's like I think we all operate based on our set of personal expectations, right? We define everything in life based on whether something is exceeding, underscore, you know, or meeting our expectations. I think for me personally, it's Han, you continuing to say that and stay consistent with it has exceeded, I think, any reasonable expectation. And thus, today, 2025, near the end of the year, I remain very excited. Vaughn, how about you? Has he exceeded yours, or how do you feel
Oh,
about that?
definitely. I mean, plus, like, you know, I've also been able to watch Han, you know, work his magic in the NFT markets and, you know, spin up a CryptoPunk zombie and then like all kinds of crazy cool trades. So, like, again, like, I love his art, I love his commitment, and I love his knack for, you know, making stuff happen in the space. So, all in all, you know, nothing but good things to say. And like, I don't know, like I kind of have when I look at artists, I kind of have like a criteria that I will use. And, you know, when I see artists that are doing the right things or things that I perceive or traits that to me are indicative of success, like I definitely have become more supportive. And so, you know, being in Discord and having a collection and being able to make deals happen and putting out great art and engaging with your collector base, like having a Twitter presence, like just all doing all the right things. I mean, a lot of artists do this, but don't always execute as well. And some artists don't even do these things. So when you have someone like Han who is committed, working hard, doing all the right things, staying, you know, being very consistent, and producing great art, like it's pretty easy to be supportive of him. So this is one of the reasons why I'm a fan and why I'm here today.
We have a hello again to Deconstruct saying Meta AI glasses are very close to bringing us there, and says Gen 2 Ray-Bans. And then Rebecca Rose in the house says a digital IRL coexistence is imminent. Just wanted to add those two
Well,
comments to the
let's
last
get it here. Let's
conversation.
bring it. Let's bring it. Let's make it.
Yes.
I'm ready to have my cube on display in my front yard. Let's go.
I thought the Vision Pro, I don't know how everyone else thought, I thought the Vision Pro would be a little further along today than it is. But I think it's just the latest in a sequence of it's going to take time, and it will arrive when it will probably arrive like slowly and then all at once.
Yeah. Those like VR goggles are like having rough time, like compared to like the usability, right? And people don't use that much, and even though you have a technology that makes something possible, there's always also another aspect where are people going to use there in their daily lives. So I can actually, show you one video about what I've been prototyping with a friend. It's a Vision Pro app, basically for CryptoCubes. I don't know if you're able to see it.
Here it
So,
is.
like these 3D objects and everything that you can real time like change and play with the animation, create their materials, and basically, just like a wizard, play around with them. So, yeah, like the tech is there, right? But like not much people are like
Yeah,
using their in their
that's super
daily
cool.
lives and everything.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like that's but yeah, we need that like when you're just wearing your glasses or just wearing
Yeah,
glasses or contacts, if you that's when it's going to really be at a different level. If you have to put a VR headset on it or AR headset, it's a little tedious. But yeah, I mean that's
yeah.
super cool.
Yeah, like as we are going to see more like lightweight those glasses, right, which is happening already. I'm sure like this shading rendering systems will be more improved, much more like they will be in much more better performance. But I totally can see these kind of things, which can be also multiplayer, right? Like the other people can see what you're doing. So this is like at that point, it's going to be like really really cool to have fun with any 3D objects, any AR things, in
I
my
have a
opinion.
suggestion for you. Like I'm noticing, and I noticed this before, like all the cubes are very reflective. You should be able to maybe change the finish, like have a matte finish on them.
Yeah, yeah. As you can see in the material side, right?
Oh, there is the ability to change that?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
going to be
nice.
an ability to like it's
Nice.
basically the actual object is these cubes, and
Right.
the user, like the owner, will be have the ability to do whatever they want
Nice.
with that.
I mean, I can imagine, Vaughn, you're going to take the Rapture Gallery into everyone's living rooms at this point.
That's what I want. I mean, I think that like it could be very easy for every collector to have their own gallery, and you want to share your gallery, just like you might have a Facebook page. Someone could go to your gallery and walk around and experience it as if it's real. And I mean, I don't think is that far away, because I think Decentraland very easily, if they wanted to, could make it VR enabled, and you could actually step into that gallery. So, I mean, I think that could already be here. It's just a question of it getting more traction. And, for Decentraland, you have to do custom builds. So, you could also maybe have more prefab galleries that make it easy for people to basically just set up a gallery and display. My gallery is custom gallery though. So
Vaughn, do you have a dream? I know you mentioned earlier, Sam. I was going to say, do you have another dream creator that you want to see in this project?
yeah, well, get X copy and people. You'll be set. Get X copy, get people, and get Sam.
Get Matt and John, right? Matt and John, of course.
Yeah, Matt and John, and you'll be all set. You'll have it all.
Hopefully, yeah, one day.
That would be a cool full circle moment. Last week's damn show, Matt and John on, of course, to mint the first Quine. That was an amazing show. Seeing them do a cube in the future, maybe some light punk homage. Who knows? I mean, that the mind goes wild there. And I always find it fun when someone very clearly inspires a concept. That concept grows and grows and grows, and then the inspiration comes around to collaborate with the ultimate end product.
Yeah. I
We'll
also
speak
would
it into
love
existence, Han.
Yeah. I also would love to, wrap up all of this collection with this amazing set of artists as well. So there's still a time and journey to be done. There's still over 100 artists we're going to collaborate. But yeah, like the names that Juan mentioned is like, of course, we would.
Yeah, I mean, people likes to do the final anything. I'm trying to get him to do a meme card, like trying to get him to do a meme card submission. He's like, well, I'll do the final meme card. It's like, well, I don't think there's going to be a final meme card, but there could be a final crypto cube, so you might have a chance there.
Yeah.
256. 256. And the fun numbers, right? So 69 is taken, unfortunately. Sorry, people. You'll have to, OSF has 69. But there's plenty more left.
Well, hey,
Yes.
Han, what do you do for the 2 burnt cubes? Like, what do you is it? Is there still going to be a CryptoCube collab for the cubes that are burnt?
There are 2 cubes burned, right? But
I mean, they
the
still
artist,
exist. So, I mean, I
yeah,
get it.
yeah, the artist still can pick. Actually, like one of the artists picked, as far as I remember.
Oh, interesting.
There
Yeah,
they are,
these were
the
the
2 burned
ones,
cubes
like
side
the
by
burned
side.
ones. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, Von, congratulations on your meme card set.
Thank you. Thank you. It was, when I did my I did a meme card for season 12, and that got me very excited about the project again. I had minted the first 3 seasons and I'd taken a break, and I really felt like the project was getting some, critical mass, and a lot of serious collectors had been coming in to finish their set. So I wanted to get a submission in with my meme card, and then the community gave me a very good reception, and a lot of people reached out to me and said I should try to finish the set. And yeah, so I wanted to finish the set, and I'm very pleased to have finally done that. It was quite a slog, to be honest with you. I mean, not easy tracking down all those cards, but I'm quite happy to have it done. Thank
Oh,
you.
here's a fun question. So we were talking about artists potentially coming aboard CryptoCubes and creators. Let me ask the reverse. Han, any plans to potentially do a meme card?
Actually, we talked about this like a few years ago. Like I was going to do it, but then I had to, focus on other things. Like we've been in touch since then, like since beginning
Oh yeah,
of like.
Han, right, you're friendly with 6529. You guys have 6529 owns a crypto cube. I don't know if people
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
But also, one thing to keep in mind is that the process for a meme card has changed. It used to be, 6529 and the crew would pick it. Now it's all community curated. So anybody can submit a meme card, and then the community votes on it. And if you get enough votes, that's how your meme card gets minted. So it's a little bit different now.
All right. Yeah, I will keep that in mind. And yeah, as I was saying, Roger, like there was like talks in the past about it, but I'm trying to also personally be careful about like what I'm creating and everything, right? So the CryptoCubes, there's like one-on-one pieces, and there's like 2 other collaboration pieces, which was one algorithms and then light on chain. But like personally, like individually, I only have this CryptoCubes and these one-on-ones. Other
Well,
than that, personally, yeah.
I mean, one thing to think about might be you could create a piece of art that's not in any of the styles you've done before, but it delivers a message that resonates with you. Like my meme card was unquestionable provenance, because that's a saying that for me resonates quite a bit. And I'm not really an artist, but I thought it was important enough to include it in the collection. And I think that you have a very strong belief in decentralization and a very strong belief in what we're doing here. And there may be a concept or a term or something that you really feel is important, and you might be able to create a piece of art that helps get that message across. And the point of the memes is to proliferate things that are important to a crypto native culture. So it might be something worth considering.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do definitely.
It's like C cubed, Han, 6529 cubed. I can see it. I can see it now. So here, of course, is Han. Anywhere else you like? I mean, there's infinite stories. So again, for people just joining, everyone, welcome to the damn show. By the way, thanks for being here. This is the upcoming 24 hours of art report on CryptoCubes, all things CryptoCubes. So it sort of takes you through the origin story. There's a letter from me, which is my personal attachment to the project. It goes into all of the traits and all of the market data and the sales structure. Von had mentioned the burn cubes. They're in there. Han, your vault, your sort of commitment to vaulting a bunch of cubes, your vault is in there.
Yeah.
A bunch of the collectors mentioned here, including, of course, Von is right here in this list. And then all of the CryptoCubes and creators drops and releases are delineated link for link, creator for creator. Han, anywhere else you'd like to go within the doc?
Like we can basically go over the journey really fast about CryptoCubes, right? Like we started to like minted everything, and then there was like notable sales, notable collectors in that journey. And yeah, currently I also, like, it's been a few years, I've been also collecting myself the CryptoCubes and the ones I like and everything. yeah, like we can just go through this like actual CryptoCubes, because there the main uh thing that I noticed is like there's a confusion between, you know, CryptoCubes, the art pieces, the CryptoCubes creators. So I would like to take this opportunity to explain, like, there's like two collections, which is, one of them is the generative collection, and one of them is the collaboration with artists that are picking the CryptoCube that is already exists and creating their own one-on-one art pieces.
And here it is, that origin story. Von, totally unplanned. There you are, right in this doc. Calls them the original metaverse landmarks.
Nice.
But Han, go ahead. Tell us the story. I mean, you have an architecture background, right?
Yeah.
Graduation project, Python script. Yeah, please break it down for us.
Basically, like the initial prototype was a Python script, right? And actually, the initial like the collection also had those like ready-made 3D files to be used, right? And now, like over the course of 5 years, everything happens in browser. So like I guess it was 2022, we made CryptoCubes on chain, right? So you can just go directly to smart contract and take the files and animation, and then in the latest update, everything happens in the like browser. So if you go to the CryptoCubes playground, you will be able to create your own animation, and you can create any type of files directly into your browser. I personally really like it. I can just actually really quickly show this playground, if possible.
Han, as you bring the playground up, just the trait structure, you're just be curious for that. So 256 cubes for RGB values, and then you have shape, color, and volume.
Yeah, so there are like 3 different attributes, right? So the volume attribute is based on like how big the cubes are compared to the next cubes in the CryptoCube. So like inside this volume, there's like stack, abstract, sparse, mass. Mass is more like big cubes that are like came together, like it looks like one thing. And the sparse means like each cube inside that is like a very dispersed everywhere. They're not touching. Abstract is like the mix of stack and sparse, meaning like some of them are touching and nothing. And stack means cubes are just like next to each other and like touching. So the next attribute is color. There are like cubes which have like a single color, which is the most rare. And then there's smooth, which is like a really close colors. The gradient and the fusion, the mixed colors. And for the shape, the most common one is the B shape. And each of them, like if you go through these attributes in the collection, you can see that they are like constantly like a specific shapes. For example, shape I is just like it looks like a tower, right? And then if you look at the shape X, it looks like a X. It's not always applied to in every trait, but there's like a really interesting shaped CryptoCubes in the collection, as far as you can see. If you go to the landmark, if you go to the, I don't know, C, I think there's like 2 C types, right? These are like the quite rare shape traits. And personally, I really like the shape trait A, Roger. It's almost like a perfect, like inside a perfect cube. Maybe in the landmark, if you go to the A, you're going to see that like these cubes are like actually consist of like one single cube inside everything that's happening. So yeah, like those shapes are
the infamous final auction was this one, A trait CryptoCube 255.
Yeah, it was like why Kaiman and Brandon was in a bidding war. I remember that day, and we were in touch. We were talking. It was quite a special night because like it basically meant like the collection minted out and everything is in secondary.
I think it was the 2 of them accounted for 25 bids back and forth. Just the 2 of them. They broke away from everybody else, and no one would give it up. No one would give it up.
Yeah, quite special day.
Han, do you want me to share your screen? Show us the tool again.
Yeah, I can just show the playground. Can you see my screen right now?
There it
I
is.
guess. So basically, this is in CryptoCubes.io playground if in the website, and it's browser based. So like it is live rendered in your browser, and what you can do with that is like you can basically create like play around with animating your CryptoCubes, everything. It is quite fun to even just play it, but after that, like when you create this, you can, but based on like what type of file you need, either it is like a 3D file or just GIF video or an image. You can basically generate them from the browser. It is quite fun to play around. I've been playing a lot with that in the last 1 year, just add like new things, everything. It's real time GLSL. So I think, yeah, like I would be happy if people would go there and play and, give feedbacks around that.
I think one of the most interesting things is you are removing obstacles, right? Breaking down barriers, moving things on chain, building tools like this. But at the end of the day, you consistently express enjoyment when other people pick cubes up or the concept of cubes up and do interesting things. And I love your quotes periodically of just like you seem to just get, just genuine happiness out of that concept. So I think it's fun that you're playing such an explicit role, of course, as the creator in their evolution, but you're very quick to say it's the community that's going to take it to wherever the horizon line is.
Yeah, everything happens with time around that too. Like I'm having fun while I'm doing that. So that's the part. This is why CryptoCubes is constantly evolving. Like I'm just having fun around CryptoCubes, doing like new things, adding new things, and then I'm releasing. Okay, this is the new thing, like the new project or something is happening with CryptoCubes. So this is why I feel so special about this project. Like it's constantly evolving, and if the people see the value in it, it's going to bring much more. Like it's going to leverage the works that I'm doing. So yeah, like I'm going to release this Vision Pro app too. If you have a Vision Pro app, you can basically play around with that, have fun, and it will also give me joy, because I'm having fun by myself and like putting out with the world.
Von, what do you think are the most productive things? So just hearing that commentary, that there's all of course Han's innovations that we're talking about here, and then there's the other side of it, which is all of us, right? The community at large, the collectors at large, the appreciators. What do you think are the most useful actions on behalf of, not just CryptoCubes, but I guess in a sense, any endeavor or project out there?
I mean, adding functionality and usability, and when CryptoCubes, as an example, came out, it didn't have this functionality to it. So giving people the tools that they need to customize it, to make it more usable. It's a pretty tough question what you're asking, so I'm not sure how it applies, more universally in NFTs. But for Han's project, CryptoCubes, again, I was able to go to this website and customize the cube, and it took me a while to figure out how everything worked and what it meant. And then I was able to download the exact file I need, send it to my developer, my builder in Decentraland, digital architect, for lack of a better word, and put the cube on display, and it's great. For me, that really was a great feature, and this was not something that was available at launch. You had the cube file, but you really couldn't do a whole lot with it. So I think that, especially for something like this, where in theory you want to display it in a 3D space, having the ability to customize it and have these AR files included with it, as well as Decentraland files, like that just gives the ability of the art to be displayed in a lot of different formats, which is nice. And again, I'm someone who's actually using the 3D files, and I think I love it in the gallery. It's amazing.
Von, when you allocate your time, right, to let's say things you collect, or maybe even things you aspire to collect, or just keeping close eye on, how do you make those decisions? Is it pure enjoyment? Is it FAFO, just follow where the intuition leads? Is it more sort of orderly than that?
It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I also have a business that's in this space as well that I'm not going to get into. So I'm literally 24/7. So I have quite a bit of time to allocate to whatever I need to allocate to, more, more than most, I would say. So, I just try to stay on top of things, and I have a reasonably good network of people that are, talking about things that they like. And if enough people that I like and respect are talking about something, I'm more inclined to give it a look. And I'm of course doing my own research. And like I would say, like let's just take the 6529 memes collection that we were talking about before. Like I had minted the first 3 seasons and then took a break from it because it was tedious to mint every 3 days. They hadn't introduced this subscription program, which they use now, which makes it much easier. And I just couldn't be in front of my computer necessarily every day, every other day to mint these. And it was a mistake. If I had hung on a little bit longer, the subscription model eventually came out. But what got me back into the memes was just seeing other people that I know in the space that are collecting in a similar fashion and building collections with a long-term view. There's a lot of short-term mentality in the space, which I'm sure we're all aware of, but there are people like myself and other people that are doing things with a much longer timeline. And those are the people that I tend to align myself more with. And I saw a lot of them taking a look at memes. And so that, like, I'm just using as an example for how I allocate my time. I decided it was time to spend the time it was going to take to build out that collection and fill in the spaces that needed to be filled. And I people that are posting regularly and talking about things that I find interesting, like they get my attention. And I don't think I follow a huge number of people on Twitter, but I follow enough that like I get a good feel for what people are looking at and talking about. And that's kind of where, I mean, I know I can't see everything. I know I can't get involved in everything, but I try to have a good network of people that help, as well as looking at things myself. I guess that would be the best way to answer that question.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And Han, maybe from your perspective, from the creator perspective, as a creator who does collect an awful lot, as has been mentioned multiple times, which is, I think, a very attractive attribute of yourself. How about you? How do you allocate your time? I mean, you obviously have things that you're consistently working on. You have these core beliefs, but how do you allocate your time in seeing what else is going on, other interesting ideas, getting inspired?
So I tend to agree with Vaughn, like about like what he said, but also like I just want to include from the creator side, which I think it helps to understand like what is something that is interesting, right? And I will just quote the Eric around that. He said like whenever like I'm having fun, there's something like there's a value that it like brings a potential, right? So like this is the first point. It comes to me interesting, right? Like without anything, without expecting anything when I'm collecting. It's like, is it interesting? And I'm having fun. It results in very unexpected good results around that. Because when you have like a certain expectation, I can assure you like it doesn't happen when you have like go with that mindset, like I'm going to do this, it's not going to happen. So while I'm collecting and trying to find like those interesting things, I'm first looking at, is it interesting? And it's kind of like after that, it's basically goes by on its own. So I'm more focused on trying to find those things that like creates this feeling or this excitement inside me. That's it.
Something I want to circle around to and make sure to emphasize, because I still think it's probably some people on the other side of the show, maybe even still the first time they've heard this concept, but your concept of the smart contract as art, right? And how deep you've gone down that path, and obviously the upcoming CryptoCubes migration. If you could just take a step back for a second, how did you arrive at your passion for the concept of a smart contract and wanting something like a CryptoCube or a Han one of one artwork or blank, right, to be its own thing?
Yeah, just to clarify, this CryptoCubes creators migration, it's going to be under like a manifold simple ERC-721 contract. We are doing this because we want to move forward in the future to be more sure about, like, we have the like this sovereign smart contract around this art pieces, right? And actually, this kind of like connects to this one-on-one art piece idea, because I'm sure many artists, many creators had like a rough time talking or reaching out with like big platforms, everything. And there's like, if you're not very well known or like very successful artist, or if you don't make like, if you don't bring visibility, or if you don't make money to some platforms, they don't care about you, right? And this also happened to me too. Like, it's been 5 years that I've been working on CryptoCubes. Yes, I had my like really good patrons, really good supporters around that. I really appreciate that. Like, without them, basically, I wouldn't be progressing, right? But I had this like experiences where like you can't reach out to those like platforms. They're big, or like there's like many people and they can't find time, or like they just don't care. So I came up with this idea. What if like we are using this permissionless technology? Why can't we do everything with it, right? So basically, I started to create my one-on-one pieces as like smart contracts, right? And like, doesn't use any ERC-721 standard or anything. It's just a simple raw smart contract that has this on-chain art piece visual and also marketplace functions, meaning whenever you want to interact with this art piece, you connect to the art piece itself. You can bid on it, you can transfer the ownership, you can, if it illicit for sale, you can buy it. So basically changing the definition of a marketplace, so you don't have to go to a platform. Basically, through Etherscan, even from like this, interacting with the Ethereum blockchain, you can do everything with the art piece. And personally, I think it's quite important that every digital asset can have their own marketplace functions around that, because if we're talking about permissionless technology, we need to come up with these like ideas and like these approaches. It doesn't make any sense where like a simple NFT, like when you want to sell, you're paying to any platform, right? It needs to be permissionless. So it can be speculative. I'm sure we need those like big platforms, but I think we need them from the curation aspect. We don't need them from the financial aspect. Everything can happen and will happen from like the autonomous smart contracts in the future, which was already happening in the financial side, the art side. And the whole point of NFTs started with that too. We were saying there's like royalties that you are going to make, like smart contract is going to make sure that you are going to be paid. Then we gave this power to the platforms, which they made it optional or not. Then there was a whole big discussion, which I have this thought. I think many artists struggled when the royalties stopped, right? And that kind of slowed us down, slowed us the NFT ecosystem. And I'm going to be honest, like in the beginning, I was in a really good crowd, like the CryptoPunks folks, right? They were caring about this technology. Of course, there was monetary expectation, but the first value wasn't that. The first value was about like interesting things. This can change how we perceive the like ownership and everything. Like everyone knows, in our ecosystem we have all types of people, which is good. We need to have all types of people, but like it shouldn't be run by like the monetary values. Of course, there's like everyone wants to make money. Who doesn't like to make money, right? But everyone is getting hurt around that. You can totally see in the last few years. So this is why I created this one-on-one smart contracts, because I had troubles with big platforms in the past. Like they simply didn't care. Like many other artists, either you need to be big or you need to bring visibility or monetary value. They sometimes don't care.
How do you think about moving smart contract art forward? Do you think that, obviously it's a new concept for many, maybe a barrier to entry for some. Do you feel that, are you interested in sort of educating? Do you feel that that's not as important, and those who want to will sort of go on their own educational courses? And or do you think that the functionality built around it, the UIs and sort of what supports it is just going to naturally improve itself?
Yeah. By the way, can you see my screen right now? Or
Yeah, let me show it. There we go.
okay. So by the way, Juan is also really supportive of this like one-on-one pieces and the infrastructure as well. And like the whole idea around this is, I'm just going to open one simple like art piece. So this is one of the art pieces, right? And as you can see, it doesn't have any different UI. So from the user perspective, everything stays the same. Like you're connecting to OpenSea, right? And you place a bit and do everything. But actually you're connecting to the art piece itself. I can just show you the code. So everything happens here in like 275 lines of code in the smart contract. And when you come in here, inside the smart contract, you can have the art piece as here, like in raw HTML. By the way, it can be also an off-chain art piece too. This example is a on-chain piece. You can see, is there any bit to the art piece from the
Hannah, I don't think we can see I don't think we can see the window with the code in it.
I'm sure. I'm sorry. What I can do is, sorry. Window screen. Sorry.
No worries. Take your time.
I may have to hop off in like 5 or 10 minutes, just so you guys know.
Okay. Can you see it now?
This one?
I think you can see it right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Can you see this link?
Yes. There we go.
All right. So basically what I was saying is this, like this 275 lines of code, everything happens inside the smart contract, meaning here's the art piece, the on-chain art piece, right? It can be also off-chain, which can route to the IPFS too. And you can just query the current bit if it is on sale or everything, and you can write through the contract and you can list it for sale. If you're the owner, you can buy now, you can accept a bid if there's a bid, meaning each art piece becomes a distinct own one-on-one smart contract, and everything happens like in a permissionless way inside Ethereum blockchain. What this allows you actually, like in the background, like in the UI, nothing changed. You still have this, all of the basic like general acceptance around like how to place a bit, how to list your art piece for sale and everything. But in the end, like the backend, everything changed. You're completely permissionless. So this is what I've been doing in the last 1-2 years as well.
Vaughn, while we still have you for a few, I'd love to get your thoughts on this idea of smart contract art.
I mean, I think it's cool. Like when Han mentioned it to me, I picked one up, one of his earlier ones. And I think that, yeah, I mean, I think it's innovative and interesting and cool. And one of the reasons why I'm a big fan, because not a lot of people are even thinking on this level. So I think it's great. I'm a fan. I like it. I own it.
Nice. I'm a fan. I like it. I own it. Well said.
Yep.
Yeah, like I really appreciate Juan inside all of these processes. I can't describe it enough that without him and without these people that I can count on, they are just giving me this courage and thing to move on.
Well, I think your collector base believes in you because you're doing the right things, and you're not here just to cash out. You obviously want to make money from your art, of course, but you're doing all the right things. You're innovative, and there's no reason not to support you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. I mean, I think I said this on the top of the show, but again, just for people joining later, you've been a consistent inspiration of mine since late 2020. That's a long time, but to see you pushing these boundaries means a lot. You've directly influenced my view on dimensionality and its possibilities. And I think, Vaughn, similar to you, just I've experimented with many a crypto cube and various metaverses and sized them up and just thought an awful lot about that and how it might express itself in the future. And, there's a piece of that's directly attributable to you, Han.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like have that cube on display in a metaverse gallery and just like see the way it like the coolness of how it rotates and catches the light and everything about it. It's like, yeah, like it's a piece of it's like a digital moving sculpture. It's awesome.
And I think in the report, I want, let's say this on the record and give the man his flowers before he has to go. But I think with the wallets combined, Von, you are the top CryptoCubes collector.
I think I have 12 or it's 13. I don't remember. I think it's 12.
I think it might be 14.
Well, maybe it's possible. I know I have them. I have some in my VonMises Vault account and some I have in the regular VonMises account. So I definitely push 6529 to buy one. I've probably pushed maybe at least 10 other cubes I got collectors to buy because of my belief in them. So I feel like I'm a evangelist for crypto cubes as well.
You did. Yeah, you are.
It's an official 14, Von.
No, nice. Did not realize I had so many. Nice.
And then Han, how about you? I know you're collecting over time, collecting the cubes you like when sort of the opportunity presents itself. I think I think on the one sort of Han Vault account, right at 11. What are your plans around there?
I'm collecting for myself mainly, and I think I can't resell them. It wouldn't look that good, but I really want to donate to like important like key places that would help the CryptoCube. So that's kind of the aim around this collecting. So if there's an institution or any place that wants one of them, I would love to donate, because like Kozomo also donated this CryptoCubes to LACMA. So yeah, like these CryptoCubes are being collected more only like personally, and also like just to donate to the good places.
So the year is 2023, and Cosmo does donate to LACMA. Now, did you have a heads up prior to that happening? Did the news break with everybody else? No. And how'd you feel?
No, I think actually like Won has a key part in this too, right? And I just heard about it just 1 hour before that, like before the Cosmo and like the team announced that. And yeah, it is a special feeling that like one of your pieces in like a major institution. But this is also like another point, right? Like we just need to go for like the next points for CryptoCubes.
Is there a dream? Do you have a dream destination? I know you said the intent is get them into good places, get them into, perpetuate them in some way, shape, or form. But do you have a dream location you'd like to see one in?
Of course, like many of the artists, right? Like having them in MoMA at some point. But who knows? I'm just going to keep having fun, keep creating, and if people sees the value, I think eventually it will happen. But so I keep saying this over and over again, but I just want to focus on having fun while I'm doing this, and eventually it will happen.
I mean, I think that there's definitely some rumors circulating that maybe MoMA might be taking some digital art soon. I don't know if that's going to actually happen or not, but there's at least some rumors going around. So maybe the door gets opened up, and who knows? But gentlemen, I'm going to sign off. It was good to be on the show with you guys, and congratulations on 5 years. And Roger, it's good to talk to you. I haven't spoken with you before, but good to be on the show.
Appreciate you, Bon.
See you guys.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, everybody. So that was the two surprise guests of today. Benny Redbeard jumping off a bit earlier, Von here with us and jumping off now. There we go. Han, how do you feel, man? 5 years. I know I keep saying it, probably sound like a broken record, but it's a long period of time sitting here, just so many milestones. I know, again, I'm more in it. I've spent a lot of hours in the report trenches and sort of reliving literally every transaction and every moment of this entire journey. So I have to acknowledge my perspective on this, but I'm right there with it now.
Yeah, of course it feels special, and I'm just asking myself, like, is it really 5 years? I all I can say is that, like, I also, like, when I started CryptoCubes, I also didn't expect this huge amount of like potential that happened in 2020, 2021, which completely affected CryptoCubes as well, right? And now, but after 2022, basically, we've been having like a really rough timeline, right? Everyone got hurt, like everyone is struggling. So I just told myself, like, I want to keep working on this project, right? And I will just keep working on it. Like, it was like up and downs a lot in the last few years, but just working on it, it still is alive. Can it be better? Of course, it can be better. Can the market be better? Yes, of course. And I just want to be open about this, like, struggles, because I've been struggling around this for now, like, I would say 5 years. But those good times, those good events that are happening, gives you this courage and joy. So yeah, like, we are not quite there yet. Like, CryptoCubes isn't recognized very well, like, everywhere. We have, like, really notable collectors. We have really good milestones that we completed. We collaborated with many big artists, many good artists, right? And yeah, like, I think it's about just keep doing it, having fun, trying to find what is valuable, and keep iterating on that. Because I can assure you it's been a struggle too. But at least since I was having fun, I didn't feel like it is like a nightmare, right? I think it's like a really good journey. And there's like a many good people that I met along the way. You, Juan, right? And like, there are people who were in the beginning was supporting a lot, like Brandon, Y. Kaiman, Axel. Yeah, it is quite special to make these digital friendships, and that comes around like a real friendship. And I would just want to keep working on CryptoCubes, and hopefully I will put like a few of them to the major institutions. And yeah,
Give you a quick trip down memory lane, going back to the let me get this up here. Check this out. So the damn show is live streamed through a program called StreamYard.
yeah.
And funny enough, bear with me. Here it is, Han. The date is April 1st, 2021. CryptoCubes and creators, the very first one, is about to go live on Nifty Gateway. Han, there you are, 5 years younger. No, 4 years younger, 4.5 years younger. And I mean, what an unbelievable group. I'm in place 3 locations prior to this one. We have the late great Deer, a lot of money, there with us. Patrick James, who played such an amazing role in the early days. Parrot, who was doing origin stories with me. Nicholas Daniel on here. Philip Hodas, and then the Black Cube becomes Fuckrender, and there they are, and Victor Mascara. This is a piece of history right here.
Yeah. Like, I remember that. It was like, I think you can see, like, I was smiling always and everything. It was quite exciting. And now we are going to move on with the new creators. It's going to be exciting. First, we need to initiate this migration, which is going to start in a few days. It's going to be a good process. People are going to, old CryptoCubes creators, art piece owners are going to burn and redeem for the new art pieces, new one-on-ones, not the new one-on-ones, new tokens. And then we're going to announce our new artists for the continuation of CryptoCubes creators.
The ninth. Well, I guess loosely speaking, right? We have we had the sort of solo Krista Kim, whatever we classify that as, but there's the ninth full out installment, I guess.
Yeah, like it's quite an incredible amount of artists, like
Still
seeing
more than
all of
halfway to
these
go.
different stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be fun, man. Han, before we close up, so just to reframe for everybody, like you just said, a couple days away, migration.
Yeah.
Everyone keep their eyes on there. Obviously, for collectors especially, it's going to be some instructions to follow. Good times ahead. Some artist announcements. In theory, I'm not going to put you under any pressure, but at some point in time, we're going to figure out who that next wave of artists is that will select their CryptoCubes and move forward with an artwork. And then associated with sort of this migration step in the future, we have the report that we showed off a large portion of it today, the 24 hours of art CryptoCubes report, technically the third deep dive to this level of depth anyway, following Sky Golpe, following Sam Spratt, and now just an honor to put pen to paper, fingers to keyboard, and to do what right now, I don't know if it's going to end there. I have to see the migration side. It might kick it over, but right now it's at 24 pages, and that feels just about right.
Yeah. I'm excited to also like share this news about the migration. So just a brief explanation around that. So CryptoCubes creators, the drops were happening in another platform in the past. And the reason we are doing this migration is to move on with the name set of artists. So it's going to be under one single sovereign smart contract that is going to contain 256 101s in the future. So it's going to be a quite straight process, which I'm going to share as an article. I think it's going to be in the report too. So it's good to alert, like, and announce this right now so that people can be like expecting this information soon.
Migration, then the report's going to drop, and then ... and then we all stay tuned.
Yeah.
Man, thank you. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being you. I think lighting the torch, carrying it forward, and being someone with real conviction, and as Von said, a long-term vision. And I think many of us can rally around that. I know for me, it's in large part what I'm here for. And so just appreciate you. And I think important to address the candid side, that it's not always easy, right? It's not just a clean road at all times. There are obstacles there. There's hardship there, but appreciate you, pushing through those things and lighting the way for a number of us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for being part of this journey, since the beginning. And here's to many more.
Here's to many more. Since the beginning, on Rareable, nonetheless, tranches of 50 CryptoCubes, they'd come out, it would be like Christmas. We look at all the assorted traits. We were trying to make sense of it. I think I built the first rudimentary rarity sheet at the time, just trying to wrap my mind around what I wanted to try to go collect on primary, and then of course ultimately the secondary market. So fun times, man. Thank you, Han.
Thank you for having me again.
Of course, won't be the last time. We're not gonna wait 5 years. So
yeah.
All right, Han.
Thank you.
Take care. Take care, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Han. As you can tell, one of my inspirations. And yeah, just going to revisit here as we get close to Emi Kusano time, who's going to be joining us at the top of the hour. But in the meantime, let's take a step back and let's talk about the damn show. So sometimes I do it at the top, sometimes I do it at the back end of the show, and sometimes I do it in the middle of the show. But I think now is a great time to talk about, we're going to talk about SuperRare a lot coming up in just a moment. And we have, of course, right here, there's Emi Kusano. That's who's coming on at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Ego in the Shell, Ghost Interrogation is her show with Ghost in the Shell. I'm looking forward to Emi talking about the importance of that. I think when I was at the opening at SuperRare's offline gallery, fabulous opening. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to some of the installations in there, interesting stuff. But a question I received was, oftentimes about Ghost in the Shell. And I want to talk to Emi about that, and again about the importance. Also, and I'll mention this to her, but one of the funniest, most ironic moments of the week prior was Sam Altman actually, visited Emi and talked with Emi, the real Sam Altman. But the funny part for me was that was happening as all of the Sora content was hitting our social feeds. So I personally was inclined to think that anything revolving around Sam Altman was absolutely fake. And I remember waking up and I remember scrolling X, and there was Emi and there was Sam, and I said, good, great Sora video, Emi. And then I saw the first comment under it. It's like, no, this is real. And that was the one real place that Sam Altman was. And so we're going to get a chance to talk to Emi about that in just a bit. And of course, this show presented with SuperRare. It's also presented with 24 Hours of Art. Hey, there we are, the Everyday Digital Art Report. So would highly recommend, don't say this all the time, it's someone very special. You know who you are. We had a meal recently. So basically you should be mentioning it every time you get the chance. Yes, we have this new website. And yes, there is now, like there once was, a free subscription as well as the pro subscription, right? Two distinct components. The free subscription gets you sort of the headlines, the artworks of the day, and then the pro subscription gets you every single line item categorized, ordered, and linked, collections, one of ones, one of X's, editions, as well as some closing thoughts from yours truly. And here's today. And we're going to talk about Quine a little bit. I think Quine has gone through a journey that feels like an awful long period of time. And yet we are talking about less than a handful of days, if you really think about it. And so here is Quine. The headline today is Quine Accelerates. This is the third or maybe fourth consecutive day that Quine has been in the headlines, but they do headline again. And for today, it's because they surged through 1,000 ETH secondary volume mark. And I think equally important, getting past some of the chatter out there, there was this notion of auction price, and it was in the range of 7.56 ETH. And then, of course, now it has surged through that. And I think it's an awfully great milestone for Larva Labs. And we see people, I think give a shout out to Zach. We're going to talk about Gandhi in a second. Give a shout out to Zach acquiring an 11 Quine. So, what are people finding attractive? Are they pseudo Quines, which are the ones that infinitely iterate? Are they perfect Quines, which are the ones that replicate into only themselves? Or are they the numbered Quines, with 11 Quine being the greatest one, where they have 11 iterations or variations that a collector can choose from? I think fascinating stuff. And I mentioned Zach, who of course is at Gandhi, and there is Gandhi. They power the damn show. We appreciate Gandhi. Liquidity for all things NFTs. And there's Quine. And so I noted this, speaking of the 24 Hours of Art Pro subscription, I noted this in my closing report comments 2 days ago. And it was as there was that chatter about the quote unquote floor price, or I like to call it lowest list, as it was hovering about 2 or 3 solid ETH below where the auction had closed, there was a parallel valuation exercise going on Gandhi. And I think, a couple of the first loans that you see come in here were these 3.5 ETH loans. And they were so Gandhi immediately indexed the collection. That's a great sign, right? Obviously, they're incentivized to do this. This is a Larva Labs collection after all, following in the footsteps of CryptoPunks, Autoglyphs, and MeBits, and a few of the other additions that they've done. They indexed it immediately, and we saw loan providers jump in. And the first 2 loans offered were 3.5 at 18% APR. And there was even a Quine, sort of bought with a loan and ETH. I look at that as a great sign. So essentially, liquidity providers were in there early. Loans, as you may know, come typically at a fraction of the asset valuation. And at that time, there were Quines that were trading in the 4 to 5 ETH range. And so let's just say, roughly speaking, 5 ETH. A 3.5 ETH loan at 18% APR is quite attractive. And so I saw those couple loans come in and said, okay, we're in a good place here, commented as such. And then essentially 24 to 48 hours later, the collection is where it is right now. So always have eyes there, especially for some of the higher profile collections. One eye or a quarter of an eye on what the loan activity is, what some of the loan offers here are, and then, of course, how that corresponds to where the collection is and the items for sale. And you can see right now the collection 7.99, likely the lowest list out there is where Quine stands. And so, yeah, the damn show and the damn show hierarchy, obviously Matt and John and Snowfro and Stone were all on the last installment here. And now just 1 week later, we are here today talking about a wildly successful release. I think the auction itself exceeded many of our expectations, and now the secondary has stabilized and sort of surged through even that FOMO associated number. So I think Quine in a very, very strong place. So thank you to SuperRare, and thank you to Gandhi for powering the damn show. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have Emi backstage, and I think it's time. I think we should get to that right now. Why wait? Why wait till 2 p.m. Eastern time? Welcome to the stage, Emi Kusano. How are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm from the gallery, and I opened the gallery for you guys today, so I'm excited to talk about my work.
It's so nice to have you on the show. I had a chance to meet you very briefly at the opening at Offline Gallery, and now that we get to do this together, and to underscore what you just said, the gallery is usually closed on this
Yes.
particular day. But for the damn show, we're able to open the door. So thank you, Emi, for doing that.
Yeah, just a few more things to do to turn on the TV. It's starting from 2, right?
Yeah, we're on. We're
You're on?
we're on right now. Yeah,
Okay.
we are live. So I would love to just take a step back and to talk about maybe the origin of this collection and where it started from. And a question that I got a lot at the gallery, and I think it's best to ask you directly. Just tell us in the first place, what is Ghost in the Shell, and why is Ghost in the Shell important to you?
Thank you. The Ghost in the Shell is a legendary Japanese cyberpunk story from late 1980s. And it's set in a future where human consciousness, what is called the ghost, and also can exist inside a mechanical body, like cyborg body shell. So the main character, Major Motoko Kusanagi, is a full cyborg who constantly questions what makes her truly human. So yeah, it's not just about robots or technology, but also very philosophical. And if your memory can be rewritten, so is your body artificial? Where does the you self actually live? So, and in the 1995, it was animated film by Mamoru Oshii, The Huge Global Impact, and it directly inspired the creator of Matrix, and it's also Ghost in the Shell was really influenced. And yeah, so I'm very honored to collaborating that IP, and you can see the influence and the you can green digital rain from the Matrix, and also virtual world, blur line between the reality and the simulation. So for me, Ghost in the Shell predicted the world live right now. So yeah, it's also about identity, technology, and consciousness, and I even feel more relevant in the age of AI. So when I create my own work using AI, my childhood memory, so yeah, I often think the same question Major Motoko asked, where does the ghost soul reside in the digital world?
And did you approach the IP or vice versa, or sort of how did this come about? Because it's not an opportunity that a lot of people get.
Yes. Actually, the offer came about more than a year ago. The IP holder, the publishing company Kodansha, reached me out, and since then, we spent a year going through the permission process. We have to get the permission from author and animator and all the people counterpart. So the first person who reached me out was Mr. Sasa Daichi. He is the producer of the Ghost in the Shell anime, newest series of Ghost in the Shell. And he told me that world is beginning to look more like a universe of the Ghost in the Shell. So he wanted to collaborate with someone working cutting edge of AI to deepen the spirit of original series. So yeah, it wasn't just license deal, or I don't want it to make it like a fan art. So yeah, it was a more invitation of reinterpret, like evolve, elevate Ghost in the Shell as a fine art. So yeah, for SuperRare, it's been. I also had a chance to have a solo show. I also got offer from SuperRare to have a solo show. So yeah, it matched the timing, and yeah, it's been amazing. I feel like my dream has been come true, because Ghost in the Shell was also my one of the most favorite anime.
So how do you begin? I imagine it must have been extremely exciting. You get that offer, and then you understand. It's like you said, it's not just a licensing deal. It's a direct collaboration to say, hey, we have a vision for what this can be, and we're looking at you, Emi. So how do you think about bringing such a thing to life with your art? What are those first sort of decisions that you make?
Yeah, it was very, very hard, because it's such a big IP, and I was originally trying to make data set from their anime data, like actual anime data, but it was really hard to interpret with my photography style, and it's really hard to make with anime style. Like if the face dimension was changed, it doesn't look like original character. So I rather decided to focusing on my personal story, rather not making their character. But also I react as a Motoko Kusanagi, the main character, as in a self-portrait. It was really hard to balance, because I have huge respect to the original anime series, but it was really easy to connect with my aesthetic, because my aesthetic was obviously influenced by cyberpunk, Ghost in the Shell aesthetic, and also my work has a lot of like Buddhism, like Japanese Buddhism essence, and the Ghost in the Shell was also influenced by Buddhism philosophy. So yeah, it was really cool to think about. And also I watched Ghost in the Shell back in teenage year, and at that time, like, I didn't think about such a deep thing, but like working through the Ghost in the Shell story with my like art perspective view makes me think about more about what it's like to be human. So which is like really important discussion in this era.
And then you have the opportunity to have a solo show and to bring it all to New York City, and to bring it all to collectors. And I should say, you know, SuperRare has, being a digital gallery, you can turn shows around sometimes within a few days or within a week. This show is there for three plus full weeks. How does it feel to be able to be there for a long stretch of time and see people come in and out and enjoy it?
Yeah, it feels like a dream. I love New York, and New York is my dream city. I went to lots of museums when I have a free time. I went to Guggenheim and Whitney today, and I'm going to MoMA tomorrow. But this time I feel different, because I'm not here for sightseeing, but also having a solo show here. So whenever I see people from art world, like, I can say, oh, I have a solo show right now in a next to the new museum, which is location is really very good, and also the space is absolutely beautiful. And SuperRare has truly supported me since very like early days as an AI artist, and especially Mika, the curator, has been really close friend for years, and she devoted like Buddhism and also understand spirituality even more like deeply than any of us. So like she at the same time she completely gets like AI realism. Like, she used to work at the Boto, and she deep knowledge about Japanese anime. She knows about Ghost in the Shell. So yeah, I couldn't imagine someone like her. So working with her was very felt natural, and also that was one of the biggest reasons I'm here. And Ghost in the Shell producer, like they really wanted to encourage me to present this collaboration somewhere outside of Japan, and then to bring this like a series to the global audience. So I think New York is a perfect place and location. So right now, next to the new museum. So yes, I'm very happy to be here.
So you have a dream opportunity with Ghost in the Shell, and you have this solo show opportunity with, like you said, Mika, and a comfortable place that understands your vision. There she is. Is she here?
Earlier, so
Hi, Mika. How are you?
Good.
And Ishi. Good. Your second time on the damn show.
Ishi's
A big
second. Wow.
I was just talking about you, how you have a spirituality, and also lots of about AI art and anime, and so you're a perfect fit for this curator.
Yeah, it's a dream to work with you.
And then I guess this is a great question for all of you, and Ishi for that matter. How does all of this come to life? So you have this dream opportunity. You say, hey, we're going to go forward with the solo show at Offline Gallery, and you have the space, and you're in the main room with this high ceiling and skylight. You have the upstairs room as well. How do you bring that to life in the space? We have a projection behind you, but yeah, how does it all come together?
When I went to this gallery for the first time was January when I had something in the US, so I decided to stop by in New York and check the place. And the ceiling was so high, and there's a window up there, and it's very like a church-like place. And I felt like, I want to put the projector up there. And also, I was thinking about I want to put my outdoor like object in there. And also, I fell in love with the beautiful LED screen, the Lightbox screen. There she is. Yeah. Can you see her?
Yes.
Yes. So, and also we create together with a team, SuperRare team. Josh, he was collecting all the TVs, and also the Griffin. He's in the background. He's amazing engineer to turns everything beautiful. Yeah. And we also put a soil, dirt, and flower in front of art. We're going to show you later. Mika comes up lots of ideas, and we have 3 days to set up when it just came to New York.
It was very last minute, but it was, I think, important for you to be with us.
Yes.
While we were making the decisions.
It was really hard to catch up with like Tokyo and New York. We have 11 hours different. So whenever I text back, everyone's finished working, and when they got reply, and I'm trying. That was the time I'm going to bed. And
it was like 5 a.m., 9 p.m., 5 a.m.
But you made it work. So let's talk about a number of the different. And by the way, I want to say a special hello to Mood Slime, who's in here, who was at the opening show as well. Let's talk about sort of each component of this decision-making process that you engaged in together. So number one, just want to go back real quick, the projection behind you. So you mentioned, Emi, you walked into the space, you explored, you noticed sort of the high ceilings, and you said you wanted the projection to be there. Talk about that. Talk about that a little bit more, and specifically, what are we watching on the projection?
Oh yes, this is the work called Morphing Memory of Aging Shell. It's a morphing video of my fictional, artificial generated family photo. So me as a 0 years old, going to 1, 5, 10, 11, and she's getting old until she died and she was born again. So it's kind of showing reincarnation. And also I try to draw myself in a Ghost in the Shell universe. So I kind of reimagine Motoko Kusanagi, who is the protagonist of the Ghost in the Shell. So me as a cyborg lady, her shell, the body is aging. So it's a moving memory of aging shell.
Mika, how many times have you watched the projection in full?
I don't know. I could watch it forever. It's all, the space is very meditative, I feel like right now. It feels very special. You visited, I think it's the most immersive show that we have put on. So I can honestly not count, and I could watch it forever.
Yeah, and it's really meditative when it's on a bigger screen. These kind of like morphing aesthetic is something like human not replicate. It's very AI, and it's actually I use the old technology. It's not old, but it's compared to like Sora or Veil. I use the technique called deforum, and it's very based on all the stable diffusion. So it's a bit glitchy, and it's really fast, and you can't really see the detail with the human eye. So it feels like dreaming.
Yeah, it feels like an underwater memory.
Yeah. So
speaking personally about my experience there at the opening, I found myself, I mean, of course, watching, but I would lose my perception of the beginning and end. And I found myself, I went back to it 2 or 3 times, and I would sit there and I just watch. And I would think to myself each time, I would not be able to catch whether I had watched it twice or 3 times, or whether I was still in the first sort of loop through it. I thought that was an interesting quality to it.
Yeah, I think it's also very much influenced by concepts of transience, or rather than concept, just truths of transience and impermanence, which are things that Emi and I talk about and explore. So it's important for the show to convey this as well. A lot of anime and cyberpunk philosophy parallels Buddhist studies or spiritual studies. The second you start to deconstruct consciousness, whether it's through technological metaphors or through Buddhist interrogations, you always get to similar places or phenomena, which is something that we know even in the quantum physics realm. When you look into something deeply enough, all the rules seem to disappear, and it all becomes very abstract and unified. And I think that we had a lot of conversations around this. We're both Buddhists, I suppose, but we were talking about, it's okay to talk about, if we wanted to put the Buddha in the show or not. And that was really interesting because it was definitely like a no. But then we're thinking of other ways that you can show this. And Emi said something very beautiful, like showing the Buddha's presence through the dirt and the flowers and the empty seat. And then I actually was discussing with somebody who saw, there was a big Buddhist exhibition at the Met, I think 1.5 years ago, and this person was telling me that I didn't know this, like very, very ancient representations of the Buddha had no figure. It was literally just an empty seat. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of these things that we're investigating, consciousness, technology, it all feels very new, but it's actually extremely ancient. We've been studying these things since, humans were on this earth, making fire, making tools, making wheels, making paper. we're always trying to advance our technology in whatever tools we have available to us. And this is part of our consciousness expansion and expression. So in a lot of ways, someone might walk in here and feel like it's very futurist, but it's very rooted in ancient studies and concepts and traditions. And that's what's so beautiful about Ghost in the Shell universe, that it's ageless. Like, made in 95, much of the stuff that you see in it is more relevant than ever before.
All playing out in real time. And talk about the natural element that you did bring in, because I think one of the first things that was noticeable walking into the show, I always want to go downstairs. I'm predisposed. I want to walk those stairs. Right? As you start walking the stairs, which are very wide, one of the first things I noticed, I saw that there was a projector going on in the distance. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. I'm going to go down there and see as the room opens up. But it was the soil. It was the soil on the stairs, right? So I saw the projector, and then it's immediately looking down and seeing that there's a trail going down the right side of the staircase, and then sort of carrying itself through that main room. You said it was a bit of a last minute decision, but one that feels very poignant to you both. Talk that through a little bit more.
Yeah, should we maybe
take a walk?
Take a walk.
Yeah.
Let me put the camera here too.
I think there's a few different, things where there's a divide where people think that technology is separate from us. It's not a part of us. It's like this cold, unfeeling data world. And I think that's the point of connection between the integration of the ghost and the shell. Like, yes, there's a shell, there's a world of data and numbers and your presentation in the world, but then there's this also inner, mysterious, organic world of memories and things that can't be measured.
Yeah.
So the dirt, and I think we thought of it as a kind of almost.
Okay.
Should I call this?
Yeah.
Like a funeral for the ego.
Okay. Oh. It's rolling now. Sorry.
I can hear you. We just can't see the other.
Okay.
A tour in real time. No, I can't hear you, but I can see Mika on the other camera. Let's see, maybe another device coming on here.
We can just use this camera. Sorry, my phone is not really working, so we can use this camera.
Oh, it's okay. Here, let me. There we go. And we're back. Okay.
Yeah, the mix of the technological and the organic together, showing that the synthesis is not paradoxical, but it's actually part of our experience.
Dirt and flowers.
There it is.
Here.
This is really big. Yeah.
Do you want me to hold it? So
Yeah.
you can
Tour. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, great. Shall we show from this view? It's a very beautiful when it's going down.
Mika, can we do the literal walk-in? Can you? I don't think we've ever done this before. Do you mind showing very briefly the very exterior of the SuperRare gallery?
Yeah, welcome. We are here at
There it is.
There's brick and mortar. So this is the investigation room, which is inspired by a scene in Ghost in the Shell, where a man gets investigated, and it is revealed that all the memories he thought he had were false and fabricated. So it shows us how memory is something that can be used. It's, on the one hand, it's something that makes us human, and on the other hand, it's something that can be used to control us. And then viewers can sit here and be interrogated by Emi's avatar, while the other while viewers coming in can watch the interrogation.
Objects remember you back. This shell keeps an archive of gestures. Resuming interrogation.
So we're looking at how memories are unstable. They define our humanity. They can control us, but they also liberate us from the world, external world of numbers and rules and data because they're so lawless.
Yes, it's like my initial inspiration from Ghost in the Shell was the integration room scene. The man, garbage man, was convicted to the crime, and he was saying, "Oh, I have a beautiful daughter and wife and dog. I don't want to lose my job." But those memory was actually fabricated by puppet master, who is like a mastermind, and his memory was hacked, so he doesn't have any wives or pet or children.
Yeah, so it's like showing that not only computers can be hacked, but also our minds can be hacked. And that's why protecting, I guess, our ghosts is just as important as cybersecurity in the Ghost in the Shell universe.
Yeah, this, like from this side, like I can see the little bit of video and also the sculpture. Looks very far and big. It's beautiful. Yeah.
And there's my favorite walk down the stairs.
And it has a real dirt on the floor.
It smelled so good when we opened, just fresh flowers and dirt.
And there, the screen on the left collected by AP or WAP Shop. And then, yeah.
Oh, this one?
Yes.
So
Perfect.
This is the Ego Shell, singular and divisible. Yeah. Can you look?
AP, if you're watching, we love you.
AP, thank you for acquiring this piece. This piece was one of the most iconic pieces I've ever created. I kind of react Motoboku Sanagi, protagonist from Ghost in the Shell. So we have two collections released on SuperRare, and the first one is Ego in the Shell, Singular but Divisible, which is my solo self-portrait series, and the other is also having my face on it, but it's more like melded with Anonymous, but this one is more like a protagonist. They are both in a Ghost in the Shell universe, but I kind of recreated with AI, so it has a different feeling, and some of them are very. So I basically generated all the different prompts for each images, so they are all very original, and this has a really uncanny feeling. This old man is the creator. He's creating the robot, and there's a geisha head, and this geisha head kind of has my facial structure. So there's some like a hidden Emi.
Yeah, I feel like the beheaded head is also very cyborg coded. They're always getting their heads cut off and they come back.
Yes. So this is also empty and multiplying. There are so many strong pieces for these collection series. I think we have 100 of them.
Yeah, and
Each is like 0.15, and you all have to request on the website. What do you think about this?
it's it's pretty incredible. We also offer prints if collectors want to order a print, which I highly recommend because they're very beautiful in collaboration with Brooklyn Editions.
And Mika, does that go for both collections? Prints of?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, great.
Yeah, this is, you can see even in here that there is like this interesting contrast between the futuristic and the organic. And I think it shows that they don't replace one another. It's all about integration.
And those are biggest light box in the gallery. I made a video work from the collection. So the collection is still images, but I animated them.
They're very cinematic.
It's very cinematic, and I can see my face in some of them has my influence. I made a data set from my face, and actually I made a data set from my previous collection, Techno-Animism and Auto Bono, and I mixed them together. And I also made more than 100 prompts with I was telling custom ChatGPT to talk about the philosophy of Ghost in the Shell, material of Ghost in the Shell, and also Buddhism. I got lots of input to my custom GPTs, and so.
There's also, Emi uses, I don't know if you already mentioned this, but uses her face and her body as the material, which is something that we've seen with great artists like Cindy Sherman. And I like to think about how self-portraits in photography, the way photography used to be, everybody talks about how it's incredibly controversial technology, and now it's everybody, has it, and it's normal, and we don't really think about it anymore as anything more than our day-to-day life. But when photography first came out and self-portrait was solidified as an art form, I think that embodying an AI avatar is in the same tradition in the art history of becoming using AI for self-portraits and generating just these new forms of expression is something that we're going to look back in like 5-10 years and see how much this is all in the tradition of art and has always been.
It makes me think of something that I think Claire Silver tweeted just last night, which is that you, Emi, you're quote one for the history books, which I thought was wonderful. And of course we were about to do the show today, so I said yes. Let's get more context on that today.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, it's like AI and photography are very similar, I think, in the sense where they're both used for artistic expression, but also they have a strong utility, and that always creates a lot of backlash when it's introduced into mainstream consciousness.
Yes, photography used to be called, it's just a record, it's not art.
Yeah, used in courtrooms to record things. And it caused a lot of scandal and drama when it first came out. So I really see Emi working in the tradition of Cindy Sherman and other great artists that use themselves as the medium.
This is a memory mandala I make with all this CRT screen, and each screen has a different self-portrait, which I created with my fictional childhood memory, which I've shown in a morphing memory of aging shell. These are more like one each ride, like a video, like you can see for this old video. Yeah, and I actually make. Can you see?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I actually create like an old data. I created data set from my actual childhood photo. So this is baby Emi from
Baby Emi.
Oh,
baby Emi in the future.
And my mom was really freak out when she saw it because they look exactly like my childhood. Because I made a data set from 0 years old to 3 years old. 4 years old to 7 years old, 8 years old to 11 years old. Like I kind of cut into like all different era. And also I don't have a data set more than 35 years old. So I created old version of me. And these are teenage Emi. Yeah. But the difference between my actual childhood memory is she's cyborg, so she kind of, so it's like a life as a cyborg lady. Yeah, very interesting. Like for me, AI is like the machine. You can explore the different version of yourself, different version of your world life. It's like a, yeah, like a multiverse.
It's a mirrored reflection of endless consciousness possibilities.
I think the installation does that concept a lot of justice. I think the way that you put that together using all of the various TVs, just the way that they're stacked up on each other, I think it really drives that point home. So it's nice to see you give that explanation in front of it. And by the way, we have Praveen in here, says, wow, Emi. Spuma says, love Emi. And then Mood Slime gives another, just kind of a, what's that emoji? A very endearing emoji. Loves what he's seeing.
The dirt on the floor. I really like the combination of this organic and inorganic materials.
I also wanted to say about the TVs, why we decided to use them as well, because that's something that we've been questioned about before. And it's really something I always go back to, having been, super dedicated to digital art and processes for a long time, is the problem of erasure and black boxes and loss of archives for digital experiences, processes, things. Our eyes just get adjusted very quickly to any kind of update that occurs, and we oftentimes just don't remember. Like, we don't remember what our previous interfaces looked like. We just accept what is in front of our eyes, and we kind of forget. And older technologies are they're sculptural and they're physical relics. So your old Nokia phone is a kind of testament to those years, like the games on them, the way the messages are set up, they encompass, they're a time capsule. And the more digital processes that we have and digital experiences, that archive gets erased. So these TVs are kind of, this whole show transcends past, present, future, which is, I think, an accurate description to how consciousness and how AI systems and smart systems in general function. So the TVs are a relic of the past, but also integrating into the present, showing that there is no real divide, and it's all one continuous experience that we're having.
It's also consciousness in the shell.
Yeah, literally a shell.
Consciousness in the shell. What works perfectly. Emi, I'd be remiss to not ask you about a very interesting moment you had. And we all woke up one morning and we saw you with Sam Altman. And I think many of us assumed that it was Sora footage, because that was all we were seeing on social media at the time, was fake Sora footage of Sam Altman. And I was in a couple private group chats and people were fast and furious just throwing these videos in. I remember distinctly waking up that morning. I scrolled, I saw Emi with your post, and I chuckled and I said, "Oh, that's another piece of Sora footage." But no, you were the one person in the world who had the real footage. So tell us how that came together.
Yeah, that was only Sam Altman, like a real Sam Altman on the timeline back then. Yeah, it was really sudden. OpenAI team reached me out like 2 days before. They just said, "Oh, Sam Altman is coming to Tokyo. Do you want to meet him?" And I was like, "Why not?" And there's no many. I was a part of the OpenAI Sora Alpha creator group. So they basically invited all the AI artists from all over the world in a group chat, and we had a feedback session of the Sora. My Ari Sora video work was featured on their OpenAI YouTube channel last year. So they've been really supporting me. Then OpenAI team contacted me because there's not many AI artists in Japan. I think I am the kind of representative of like AI art community in Japan. So they reached me out, and Sam Altman wants to studio visit of my work. And I was also having another group show in Tokyo, so I decided to invite Sam to my show, and he came to my show, and we had a talk panel with other AI artists. And Daito Manabe, he is also like a legend AI artist from Japan. So Daito and I had a talk with Sam Altman. It was really precious time, and he was very, how do I say, like, he was so Sam Altman. Like, he's a real, and he, how do I say, like, he was like a very
Rounded?
Yeah, like a robot, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a good way.
In a good way.
In a good way, yeah.
He was a real person.
Yeah, he was a real person, and he was genuinely believed the future of AI. I'm very optimistic about, and also like Japanese people are very excited about AI. So I think Japan is one of the most optimistic country to like towards new technology. Like Japanese people are traditionally like having a robot as an partner, friends, companion, guardian. So many of like Japanese anime draw the robot as a friend. So many people are excited about like collaborating new technology. So Sam Altman was really, he's a big fan of Japan, and he's also talking about. I talked to him about when I try to generate something very culturally niche content, it doesn't work out good. Like for example, like if I try to generate something punk rock or Michael Jackson, it's really easy to come out. But like if it's like a very niche Japanese culture that only existed in 1985 or something like that, it doesn't really comes out. But Sam Altman said like he's gonna do more like a culture context approach, and also he's doing more fine-tuning models and like the stuff. So yeah, it was really exciting to hear from him directly, and I could know his anime, like his favorite anime was Death Note.
Amazing. I have to ask: is Sam Altman an art collector?
Not sure. He didn't ask anything about my work, but he has my art book and my card, so I hope he can contact me.
I would love to see an Emi Kusano land in the collection of Sam Altman. That would be amazing. So how long is the show open? So I mentioned this will be I think the longest standing exhibition in Offline Gallery's history. Is that correct?
Not the longest. We did have Mythologies for Spiritually Void Time that was on for a month as well.
Okay.
But this will be on until the 29th. Certain shows we definitely keep longer, especially when people are flying in and wanting to see them. So
it's open in Wednesday to Saturday, right?
Wednesday through Saturday. You can also contact us if you want to come by appointment, and I'd be happy to give you a tour.
Amazing. And Emi, how long are you in town for?
I'm leaving a day after tomorrow, so
which is sad.
Yeah,
because it's been so much fun working with you.
I know. I wish I could stay longer.
Yeah, we met in 2022, which is crazy.
Yeah, in an NFT NIC.
Yeah, at an NFT NIC rave, and then I just followed her on Twitter, and she started posting these AI works, and it was still pretty difficult to show AI artists at the time. We did a show at the West Broadway Gallery in 2022 called Ghost in the Shell.
Oh,
It was an AI show, yeah. And we had like Sasha Styles in it and Mario, and it was pretty controversial. Claire showed a Dolly 2 piece that was just legalized like the day before. So the climate was really not very accepting. In the crypto community still, it was pretty controversial. So that's when I met Emi, and I saw her work, and I was so impressed. And since we onboarded her off the SuperRare, and this is like the culmination, I feel like, of years of just like fangirling and friendship and shared interests. So check it out. Come through.
please come.
Moment, full circle moment happening right in front of our eyes from 2022.
Yes.
Emi, how does it feel from your perspective? The last question, then I'll let you both get back to the show and maybe the day off and some museum visitations. But how does it feel sitting here in 2025 when it's a lot? I mean, it's not 2022 anymore, and I think a lot of people have woken up to AI, are starting to embrace AI more. I think a lot more crypto collectors. We've seen some formative collections come around. You continue to evolve your work, but how does it feel sitting where you are in 2025?
Yeah, it's been lots of changing. I sometimes still can believe, like I sometimes call it like pioneer. I just started, like it feels like yesterday. I was actually tinker with REAI on 2017 for my music video. I've been a musician for 10 years. I use style transfer, which is like a referencing image style and then put it in a video, like a video generator, back in 2017. And at that time, when I tinker with AI, I didn't feel like my work. I like the machine likeness. I like the it's very gritty, and I like that aesthetic. But I think I got into AI after LLM came. That was back in 2023. So my first AI presentation was Bright Moment Tokyo 2023. And I was very fortunate to present my work there because I met Pinder, I met Kevin Nabosh, I met Claire, I met Mario, Ivana, Sasha. They are like all incredible AI art pioneers. I didn't have any role model before that, and if I presenting my AI artwork just on Instagram or just on YouTube, it might get viral, or like I also gonna get any like opportunities. But yeah, like my context of my work, how I present, like which community I was presenting was really important, and it changed my life. And I was very active on a NFT space since 2021. Long story short, I was also the co-founder of PFP anime project, Shinsei Galverse, which is also like a retro anime crowdfunding based studio. And I was also mother of Japanese NFT artist. He's a zombie zookeeper. He's an 8 years old kid. Like his artwork got acquired from Steve Aoki, and yeah, sorry, long story short, but I got lots of history.
Crypto lore goes deep.
Yeah. So it's been life-changing year, and also I feel like many people from traditional art got like many people, not many people, but some of the smartest people from museums and institutions and auction houses, they started to realize this is the edge of contemporary. We are in the most contemporary place right now.
It's like the moment where, like, I always say, if you can imagine it, it can happen. Or human imagination is such a powerful tool because it actually somebody imagined a car or skyscrapers. Like, it's all coming from our ghost or whatever from within. So I think AI is something that I studied in college, like as a philosophy. It was in a philosophy class, and then to stand here today. When we met, there was no ChatGPT really to the public. There was no DALL-E. There was we're very lucky to be part of this history, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think only the movement which has been rejected on art history. Photography was not art, and Impressionism used to be called unfinished paint.
Minimalism,
Yeah.
the fabrication, the erasure of the artist's hands, everything that challenges the way we look at time, space, reality, gets a lot of backlash, and AI is no different. And I'm sure we will be reading about Emi's work in the history books. So,
The history books. One for the history books. In the words
we're
of
all
Claire
very
Silver.
lucky to be here as, watching the world change and being in the presence of great artists.
Yeah. Watching the world change and influencing its perceptual change all at the same time. Full circle moment. Emi Kusano at SuperRare's offline gallery with Mika. Mika, thank you for opening the doors. Emi, thank you for taking the time today, for showing us the show. Again, I was there in person. I felt some sort of way about it and thought this would be a wonderful idea, and you've both made it possible. So everyone, of course, go check it out on SuperRare. Catalog is live on the site. As mentioned, there are 2 collections, one very personal and one with personal touches and beheaded Emi cyborgs, as we saw in the room.
Yeah.
We love it. All right, enjoy the museum visits. Bye, both of you. Be well. Take care. All right. And that's the damn show, everybody. Digital Art Market Show. I am RD. Long one today. Great one today. A lot of guests, a lot of surprises. We started with Han. We started with CryptoCubes. To revisit there, we expect some migration information from him in the coming days. We're going to release the 24-ish page, 24 Hours of Art CryptoCubes deep dive report, the 3rd in our history. Wonderful feature content. Don't take it lightly. It takes an awful lot of time. But enjoy it at the end of the day to get a definitive resource out there for a brand and a project that I think very much deserves it. Talked all about that earlier, of course. 2 special guests, 2 surprise guests, and they were Benny Redbeard and Vaughn as well. Vaughn stayed and hung out with us for a little while. He's a collector. Both of them are collectors that I've long respected. Vaughn I've respected for a long period of time. Have not yet had a chance to interact live with him on a show. A few DMs here and there, but not ever a live show. That was fixed today. Vaughn, thank you for spending the time. And then it was Emi and surprise guest Mika with a live tour of SuperRare Gallery. I love the raw tours. I mean, hey, listen, if you've hung with me for a long period of time, I like the long form, organic, not necessarily heavily produced magic right here on camera. Let's see where it goes. That tradition here on the Damn Show started in the very first Damn Show in December of last year, which was that rollicking 24-hour consecutive show, which we'll do again at the close of this year, and look forward to just carrying that spirit through places like this and shows like this and installments like this. I think our 43rd Damn Show of the calendar year 2025. We are off to Marfa. Will I see you in Marfa? I hope I'll see you in Marfa. And if not, of course, always trying to bring postcards from afar and little windows in to what's going to be going on in Marfa. So I'll look forward to being able to do that this time around. We'll be there for a few days. We'll be back in time, barring travel complications and any unforeseen obstacles. I plan to be back in time for next week's Damn Show. I'm going to save the guest announcement. There's a very special guest coming. We'll get to that when the time comes. We are, as always, presented with 24 Hours of Art and SuperRare. We just got off with SuperRare, got to visit it in person or in virtual person. And we are powered by Gandhi and had a chance to take you through Gandhi and, of course, the Quine indexing and some of what I have my eyes on when a collection like that goes live and does have the ability to look in parallel at what's going on over there. All right, that's it. Thank you all for joining us. Deconstruct, Mood Slime, Spuma, Praveen, Rebecca, Nifty Time. I didn't see you up there. GMGM, he said, happy 5-year anniversary of the Cube. Someone who's been very influential to the Cubes. Nifty Time, appreciate the hell out of you. Abrahani, Jan Visuals, Bling Bling, Go Naji, and so many more. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for sharing the show out. See you next week.